Hello everyone, good evening. If you can hear me loud and clear, please can you leave a comment in this comment section so that I can be sure you can hear me. Good evening everyone, wherever you're joining from. Good evening from Nigeria. My name is Precious Abel and I am the program manager of AODI. So please, if you can hear me, leave a comment. Let me check that to see if you all can hear me. All right, thank you very much. I can see comments. So I would love for us to do a bit of an exercise before we get right into it. Let's get to meet ourselves. So what you're going to do is you leave your name in the chat box and where you're joining in from so that we can identify if you have a neighbor. You never can tell a neighbor beside you from the same state or the same country from wherever you're streaming from. So please, let's do that quickly. We are a little bit behind our time. So quickly. I'm joining in from Lagos, Nigeria. So where are you joining in from? Do I have neighbors in the chat box? Let me see. Okay, so I can see some people. I can see Chinonso joining in from Abia State, Nigeria. I see Toby from Mississippi, USA. Okay, Nadia from Nigeria. All right, it's a pleasure to meet every one of you. Mississippi, USA. It's a pleasure to meet every one of you. And I welcome you once again to AODI's 2024 Mentorship Program. If you are here, count yourself very blessed because a lot of people applied for this year's mentorship program and you're one of the selected few who, okay, I can still see your comments coming in. Samson from Enugu, welcome to AODI. All right, so back to what I was saying. If you're here, count yourself blessed to be in this year's mentorship because we had a lot of application, but you made it through and you're here. So once again, I welcome every one of you, and I hope that you have an enjoyable time with us, which is the essence of this mentorship program, because we are going to be breaking down a lot of things that you need to know regarding the mentorship program. And I'm sure you have lots of questions. So right now is the time, but we have a session for Q&A. So just take a bit of time. If you have any questions, note it down in your notepad or write it down somewhere so you don't forget. Once it's time for Q&A, you can then send in your questions. You either type it in the comment section or you come on the live stream as well to ask a question if you're not shy. So yeah, thank you everyone once again, and please keep dropping in your location, where you're joining from, your name and where you're joining from, because we'd love to know you and we'd love to meet you. So let's get right into it. I remember I shared the agenda for this program, and the first on our list is about AODI. I'm sure that some of you may have gone through our website to see who we are and what we are about. So today you'll be hearing it from the founder's mouth, the vision behind AODI, what made him start this foundation, this NGO, what made him, decide to help people like you and me, to achieve our dreams, achieve our goals, connect us with world-class mentors from all around the world, to hold us by the hand and get our academic mentorship done and dusted. Because if you look at other people trying to apply for, let's say, masters abroad, you see that they are usually lost. Sometimes YouTube videos do not cut it, and they end up, just trying to figure it out by themselves. But here, they're going to hold you by the hand. They're going to assign mentors to you who would answer all of the questions, guide you throughout all the processes, and help you while at it. So today we're going to hear about AODI from the founder's mouth. And before we welcome him, I want to see hands clapping in the comment section. You can put out your emoji as we welcome David Zogo to come and tell us one or two things you do not know about AODI. So I'm passing the mic right now to David. Over to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Precious. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Precious?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, amazing. So yeah, I think this has become an annual ritual for us, right? And it's really exciting to see, especially most of our mentors who have, since we started this mentorship program, have always been there to provide this support for us. I'm really, really excited to have all of you today. I think today's orientation is going to be like really, really phenomenal and special. The reason being that we've been able to put together all the things we've learned in the past experience that we have, trying to provide this mentorship program to a whole lot of brilliant students out there who wouldn't ordinarily dare to make applications to some of these top universities. And I must tell you that we have the best of the best when it comes to mentorship. The mentors that we use to execute this, and all of them, usually do this for free, which is the reason we also provide this mentorship for free to our mentees. So today we've got like really, really packed agenda, and I just wanted to implore you to, listen attentively, especially our mentees, because what you get out of this mentorship is going to be directly proportional to how much you put into it. We have like passionate and really experienced mentors that will be able to support you throughout this journey. And so I'm just imploring you to make sure that you take the best opportunity that you can and make sure that this actually is converted into a very successful outcome at the end. So I'm going to start by giving a little bit of context and objective. And this is going to just revolve around the global mentorship, right? And to be honest, the real reason why Africa for Our Dream Education Initiative was actually founded was around this mentorship program of a thing. When I arrived Cambridge in 2017, there are just few of the African scholars that we have there. We started pushing for minority programs and a whole lot of diversity issue around there. And we thought that having an organization that actually fronts those initiatives will make a whole lot of sense. Started collaborating with the ASCO, which is the African student government you have at Cambridge, to run some of this initiative. We have a lot of passionate individuals, those from African descent, those from other places, Asia, US, Europe, across board, who are really passionate about trying to give this kind of opportunity to folks who wouldn't ordinarily kind of have the opportunity to go through these very competitive processes, as the case might be. And so we were inspired by those commitments that those sort of people made initially to get things like this going. And so it's become a flagship of what AODI does, trying to support folks through that application program. However, it's no longer just we targeting folks going to Cambridge. So we decided to expand this to include people from emerging markets, even beyond Africa, and then as well as trying to expand the mentorship to support those who wouldn't even want to apply to Cambridge, or folks who would apply to Cambridge, but they wouldn't get into Cambridge, and so they want to try other universities. So the mentorship program has then been expanded to cover, just to prepare you anywhere you want to apply at top global universities, you'll be able to actually get in there. And so that's just the context around how all of this started. And today we continue to grow from one success story to another. Later on, you're going to hear from some of our beneficiaries who has gone through this mentorship program, has been an opportunity to gain admission at the University of Cambridge, share some of their experiences. And so the objective of this mentorship is just tailored around providing that academic and professional guidance to our mentees. Okay. There are folks who've got all of those global experiences that are going to share from different fields. So I think I'm calling upon you to make sure that you avail yourself to get all of that. And sometimes, I could just go on LinkedIn and decide to say, hey, who needs mentorship? Come, let me mentor you. But one thing that is unique about what we are doing is that we are providing a structured framework that promotes consistency, feedback, progress tracking, and make sure that we are able to support our mentees from the start to finish, getting feedback and reiterating the process to ensure that you get the best out of the experience. Okay, and the idea is that, you guys are going to become the future leaders of whether it's Africa, wherever your country is, become change makers, the innovators, like the people that actually makes the world kind of go from where it is currently to where it needs to be. So that is about the mentorship that we are trying to offer you today. But let's spend a little bit of time to talk about who we are. So some of you might have just, bumped into this post on LinkedIn and decide to apply, but you don't know anything about what we do as Africa for Our Dream Initiative. So I've put in, a couple of pages to tell you who we are, really. So the first thing is that we are an organization, a non-charitable organization. That means that a whole lot of things that we deliver are for free. We try to get funding elsewhere, but the recipient, the beneficiaries of the things that we do are usually getting those things for free. And the idea is that we want to empower African future leaders, whether it's by training young professionals, students, empowering communities across Africa, driving sustainable growth while we are doing that, nurturing talent, making sure that through the things that we do, we foster innovation and connect people across board. And all of this, we believe, is going to lead to unlocking certain potential using whatever tools that are available, the knowledge and the network that we've built across board, and then to make sure that the people who are the true recipients of the things that we do becomes the true leaders and the innovators that is going to lead Africa to the place where we need it to be. And so our vision and mission is then summarily kind of summarized across building a new Africa where individuals will be able to thrive and have access to the necessary things about life. And the way we do that is by promoting, supporting, and investing in areas of health, education, and other opportunities that is going to guarantee sustain the capital, human capital development across board. So that's basically who we are. And the aim and objective of the foundation itself is anchored on 4 cardinal points. The first is that we want to ensure that anything we do empowers the women. We want to ensure that the things we do empower the youth because they are the future of tomorrow, right? And the leaders of tomorrow. And we want to ensure that whether you are a woman, you are a youth, you are a man, whoever you are, across the continent, you have access to the best of education, which is where this mentorship program is kind of centered, right? And as well, of course, you know that a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. And so we want to also make sure that the things that we do inculcates the discipline and whatever is necessary for us to have that healthy living across board. And so that is the main objective of the things that we do. But now the question is, what exactly do we do? When we say we empower women, we empower youth, we do this, how do we actually do that? So I've listed like 4 supporting key areas that we use to drive all of those agenda. The first is the mentorship and leadership development, which is what we are actually here for today. And then the second is entrepreneurship and innovation, which usually come as a result of, the mentors that have supported us through our mentorship, the mentees that have become successful. We are now trying to build a platform that allows them to come in to share ideas, to share innovations, like to push against, entrepreneurship ideas, starting up businesses that solve societal problems. This is something that is, under works, for instance, for now. Okay, but that is how we try to achieve all of these things that I've tried to speak to you about through the cardinal points that we have. And then, of course, through education and capacity building, in the past, we've organized what we call the Partner Africa Project, where basically we try to match researchers from the global north with those in the global south and bring about collaborative research and even grant application that allows them to research on things that are of African priorities, right? So we build those capacity. We donate equipment to universities in Africa that ordinarily wouldn't have access to those kind of equipment, to make sure that we begin to build capacity within the continent to support folks. And as well, we also engage in community engagement. We have a program we call the Campus Ambassador Program, where we bring in undergraduate students. We bring them to create a community that identify some challenges that their communities are kind of facing. And we try to assess funding to support those students, to support those families, those communities, to run whatever initiative and programs that is going to make a difference in their life. So these are the various ways in which we try to, pursue all of these things that we do. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm supposed to actually play a video that tells you a little bit about the mentorship program. Let me see if that is still possible to do. A revolution. Okay, cool. Across Africa, a revolution is underway. It's not just about learning, it's about transforming futures. So at Africa for Our Dream Education Initiative, we are not just dreaming of change, we are creating it. My name is David Izogu. I'm the founder of Africa for Our Dream Education Initiative. Over the years, we've witnessed the incredible journey of African youth, breaking barriers and achieving scholarships, and getting admission to the world's most prestigious universities. But behind every success is a mentor who believed in their potential.
So before I applied to this mentorship scheme, I knew which master's programs I wanted to apply to here in Cambridge, but I was really unfamiliar with the application process for a postgraduate degree. Thankfully, all of that changed once I was matched with a mentor. He really went above and beyond to support me throughout the process. He even went so far as to arrange a mock interview for me once I had my interview scheduled for my program. And I really think that guidance and support and the interview as well gave me the final boost of confidence I needed to ace that interview and secure my place here. It's truly phenomenal.
The Africa of Our Dream Initiative mentorship program made postgraduate study at the University of Cambridge a possibility for me and connected me with someone I can call a career mentor.
My mentor once said, "Amy, you have what Cambridge is looking for, but you are not yet showcasing the impact of your previous experiences effectively." This feedback was my turning point that helped me to refine how to communicate the impact of my previous experiences better during the application process. And this skill really proved invaluable, not just for my master's application, but it was a cornerstone for securing the prestigious GATE scholarship for my PhD at Cambridge. The mentorship I received through the AODI mentorship program was really transformative, turning insightful feedback into a scholarship that changed the course of my academic journey. All thanks to the AODI mentorship program.
So our prospective mentors, this is more than just a volunteer opportunity. It's a chance to inspire, guide, and witness the transformation of lives, including yours. Through mentoring, you connect with the brightest mind from Africa. You become a part of prestigious network and gain a fulfilling sense of purpose. And if you know me, you know how committed I am to improving the lives of other people. So join us, and together, let's create a legacy of change.
The AODI mentorship program has given me a valuable opportunity to interact with and help students who are aspire to broaden their academic horizon. The experience that I had on the program was extremely rewarding, especially when I was able to witness my mentees mature in their thinking and come to realize their full potentials over the course of the few months of our interaction.
I want to take this opportunity to thank AODI, Africa's Our Dream Education Initiative, for the great work they did in my life. They did the training. They trained me a lot when I was still in Ghana in 2021 for 6 months. I learned a lot of skills. And those skills made me go to India. I came back. I'm happy. Right now, the group of people that I was mentoring, I have 2 students from Nigeria and another one from Ghana. It's one way of me giving help to the organization, since they also help me freely. I'm so happy that out of the people I've mentored, one of them got admission at the University of Cambridge. I'm hopeful that he will travel there. I've learned a lot of skills also from the organization. Through interacting with my mentees, I also learned more than them.
To our prospective mentors, your expertise can be the key that unlocks a totally new world of possibilities for our students. With each success story, we are not just changing individual lives, we are transforming a whole continent. We've seen remarkable achievements already, but with your help, we can do so much more. Join us today and let's make the Africa of our dream a reality together. If you are passionate about changing the lives of others, you can become a part of a movement that is shaping the future of Africa. Visit our website, follow our journey on social media, and become a mentor today. And together, we can make dreams come true.
Okay, great. So that is a little bit around the mentorship that we kind of provide, and you can hear from both our mentors and as well as our mentees. In fact, we actually have folks who were our mentees, right? And so they were successful, and then they came back to give back by becoming mentors. Okay, so that is a cycle that we would like to see go on every now and then. So next, I think for us to then have the best of experience when it comes to this mentorship, it's very, very important that we set very clear expectation. I think this is where I would really want, especially our mentees, to pay keen attention to. Because I must tell you that the last mentorship program that we ran wasn't as successful because mentees, especially mentees, were not really clear around what the expectations were. There are people who came in with this expectation that, okay, maybe my mentor is going to do A to Z for me. I don't even need to do anything, right? I need to write my personal statement for me, prepare my CV and all of that. So when it comes to when it boiled down to getting those mentees to do what they were supposed to do after getting guidance from mentors, they were not able to deliver on that. So that was the reason we thought that having mentors and mentees right here with us today wanted to set those clear expectations so that mentees are very clear on what this mentorship actually implies. And mentors are also very clear on what it also implies on their own. So let's start with the mentor's expectation. I think what we are asking the mentors to do is to make a commitment to provide guidance to our mentees. Okay, so they have to be always there. Well, I don't know whether to use the word always is the best thing, because they might not always be there. They are very busy people. Okay, but they have already signed up that they are going to help us provide feedback, share their experiences to allow those mentors to grow. Now, when the mentees begin to engage the mentors, we are asking the mentors to help us listen to the things that the mentees are going to be telling them in the areas of what their goals are, in the areas of what their challenges are going to be, and much more. Okay, and as well, not just trying to say, hey, I will do this for you, I can help you prepare your CV and all of that. No, we don't want you to do that. We want you to encourage the mentees to be independent, to foster their own critical thinking. Okay, they need to bring something to the table. They need to be able to make a decision and then sanity check that decision with you. And based on your experience and the perspective that you hold, which you believe is superior than whatever they have held, because you've gone through certain processes and procedures. We want you to then use that to encourage them to be independent. And then one thing that is very key to mentorship, especially because this mentorship is remote, is regular communication. So we want you to establish that communication, whatever works for you. If it's WhatsApp, share your WhatsApp number with them. If it's email, if it's, once in a while, having that long extended communication on Zoom call, whatever it is, but make sure that there is a regular communication with them. Then we also have a set of what we think should be the things you do as you manage this relationship that you're going to be building with them. And there's something we are advising you that maybe this might not be good for this mentorship relationship. One is, being approachable, having that empathy. Remember that the person you are speaking to might not have had the kind of experience that you have. And so just be patient with them, provide that guidance, and offer practical guidance, something that the mentor can work, the mentee can work out and say, okay, yeah, I definitely know what to do based on this conversation I've had with this mentor. However, we wouldn't want it to be inconsistent, right? We want to ensure that you have that regular check-in, that feedback, avoiding very long gaps in communication, which can actually begin to discourage people, and people can start withdrawing from the whole mentorship program. And then last but not the least, in terms of things that we think you shouldn't be doing, is micromanaging. So avoid over-directing. Instead, encourage the mentee to take ownership of their own development while you provide that guidance. On the mentee side, we would like you to take initiative, right? This is your life. This is your development. So you need to be the real driver of these developments and everything that happens in this. You have to be open to feedback. If your mentor tells you, oh, there's a way you could, better present this CV, you don't need to be on the defensive side, okay? Because this person is speaking from experience. He himself or herself has done this before, and so he's providing that guidance. So be open to feedback. If someone tells you, hey, I don't like the way you do this, you are communicating too much, let's keep the communication, maybe once a week, twice a week, whatever it is. Just have that structure that allows you to think constructively and receive whatever it is that is given to you. And then you have to maintain active participation. Remember that the folks who are mentoring you are people who are already established in their own field, doing exploits. They are extremely busy. So what that means is that if I set up a meeting with you as a mentor, you need to show up. I can't come to a meeting and then you didn't show up. Later on, you tell me that you have internet problem or you have this. If there's any reason why you won't show up for a meeting, you need to communicate that in advance so that the mentor can find time to do something else. Respect their time, respect the efforts that they are bringing in. All right. So take responsibility in terms of what you should be doing. Take responsibility of your own learning. Okay. Be honest and transparent. You need to be able to communicate the things that you struggle with and the things that you are clear about. Don't rely solely on the things that the mentor is going to be telling you. If the mentor says do A and B, you need to go out of your own comfort zone, make the research, and see what value you can bring to the table. Do not overburden the mentor. If the mentor has given you feedback, make sure you go back, you take time to actually implement those feedback. I cannot correct you on your CV and say, hey, place this CV this way, format it this way, use this kind of verb, make sure you have 3 bullet points, and then you send me back the CV and I see that the feedback I had provided for you before, you've not implemented them. So you are not creating more work for me, something I can use to add more value to you. You are dragging me back, and then all of those can, frustrate a particular mentor to give you the best. So you need to be very, very careful with all of this. And last but not the least, we are saying that mentees are not allowed to seek financial support from mentors, whether it's application fee or whatever it is. So mentors have been asked to report any mentee that is asking them for any financial support. If you are having a conversation and maybe your mentor asks you, hey, why not, send in your application, apply to Cambridge, apply to Oxford, and then you say, okay, you do not have application fee. That is fine, but you can give them reason why you cannot, make certain application that you would have otherwise wanted to make. But you cannot go out of your way and start asking them to support you, to give you money for that application fee or all of that. Do not do that. If any of your mentors reports you that you did that, we are going to kind of remove you from the mentorship program and bar you from making use of this mentorship in future. Okay, so that is what we wanted to tell you about the mentorship expectation. Just keep the questions coming in. Once we are done with this, we'll have time where we look at all of the questions that you've put forward. So one of the things when I was introducing this that we do is to provide a framework around the mentorship. Make sure that it's structured. So in principle, mentorship, we usually cover things around, setting goals, providing some training, motivating a particular mentee, providing advice, providing support, coaching, giving a sense of direction. And at the end, the ultimate goal is for you to be successful with whatever it is that you are doing. So we expect that as mentors and mentees begin to build this relationship with each other, they need to focus around providing all of this, supporting the mentees, providing that coaching around how to make a very competitive application for graduate studies, whether you are applying for master's or for PhD, whether in the UK, wherever it is. But remember that most mentors are going to provide that mentorship based on their own experience. So if someone has applied to the US school, is going to provide that based on that. But we also have monthly check-in where we have specific training that is going to provide a level playing ground for everyone, irrespective of whether you are being mentored with someone who is conversant with what is happening in the UK or with someone who is conversant with what is happening in the US or elsewhere. Okay, so that at the end, we have that kind of level playing ground in terms of the knowledge and what you get out of the mentorship. So the framework we have for this mentorship, we run through 6 key delivering pillars. Of course, you know that the focus is for you to be able to make an application that allows you to get scholarship. Because in the past, we've realized that mentees can potentially get admission to a top global university, but they won't be able to actually start that because there is no scholarship. So the idea is to help you prepare an application that can not just gain admission to some of those top universities, but also allow you to, guarantee some scholarship for you to go on. So this will involve, academic writing, your graduate application support, and general career support. That is what this mentorship is going to cover. And so the program is structured to run in 6 months, and we have some mentor-mentee pairing which are already done. We've gotten the mentors availability on a weekly basis, and we use that to ask the mentors and the mentees to interact and provide all of those guidance. This first month is where we provide this orientation, and after this orientation, we would like the mentors and the mentees to meet together and set a goal for themselves. There is this one thing: you cannot just avoid setting this goal, because when you don't set the goal, what then happens is that you just continue. Today, you are looking at CV, there is no target. You are looking at personal statement. You don't even know what you want to use that personal statement to do. So you want to be able to set a goal and say, okay, at the end of this, I want to be able to make like 5 applications to these respective schools. I want to submit my application to the University of Cambridge. I want to submit application for this course at University of Oxford. I want to submit this application for this course at MIT in the US, whatever it is. And to do that, I want to be able to have a very strong application that allows me to do that. I know that Cambridge application ends by December, so that means that I need to have prepared that application by so date. So you need to set that goal. That is the first thing that you need to do. Set clear goals so that your mentor understands what kind of support and what the timeline and commitment he or she needs to bring in to support you. Then we have the mentorship sessions from months 2 to 5, where we provide feedback, we support you, tell you based on our experience, invite some speakers to tell you about the application process for a particular school, talk about your CV, your personal statement, your application essay, and all of that. And then at the end, we'll provide some kind of evaluation form for both the mentors and the mentees. Of course, there is always the monthly feedback form that your mentors are going to fill, just for us to know how you are faring. So any mentee that is not meeting up to expectation, will have a one-on-one chat with you and then provide you another opportunity for you to up your game. But if you do not meet up with the requirements of the mentorship, you waste your mentor's time, we will have to let you go from the mentorship, okay? So the core component, like I've said, is the goal setting, the skill development, the network you build, and then the overall support you get in terms of how you make your own application. So those supports are going to come from your mentor guideline, the resources we are going to be giving you. We have a wealth of resources in terms of template CVs, personal statements, essay writing for UK, for US schools. Your mentors have been given access to that, and they will be able to share all of that with you. And then the expected outcome is that at the end, we want you to be able to get admission and scholarship to a graduate school. And not just that graduate school, you should have, been inculcated with leadership qualities that could prepare you, to continue to lead your career in future, as well as, of course, you are interacting with your mentor. A whole lot of our mentees have kept with the communication they have with their mentor, even after the application or after this 6 months interval. So we are asking you to continue to do that. Apologies, I didn't actually realize that I wasn't showing the slide I was speaking to. Anyway, you will get a copy of this slide that I'm trying to prepare, that I'm using to make this presentation. So everything I've been talking around the framework is what you're having now. I didn't realize I wasn't sharing that. Okay, so the next is the support system that we've placed. Like in the framework I mentioned in the step 5 here, you have the support system that we're trying to put in place for you. Because we don't want to overburden your mentors. We understand that they have a lot of things that they are doing outside providing their time to support you. And so we've been able to put together a structure and some material that they can use to better support you. So you need to make yourself available to get all of these supports. So from the first one, we have resources and tools like graduate application guide. We have CV, personal statement templates that you can use to prepare your own. We also have some ongoing support that we're going to provide for you, like application review. You finish your application, the mentors are able to review your application for you one-on-one. They're able to help you with your interview preparation if you have interview during the mentorship program. And then we are asking you guys to use a Trello. It's a project management tool, but you can also use it to manage the application process if you are aware of what a timeline is. So you can create those timelines depending on the different schools that you are going to be applying. We're encouraging people to apply to more than one school because you don't know which one is going to turn out which way. And then we also have the feedback assessment way, where your mentors are able to provide feedback, and you yourself, you are also able to provide feedback to us. And that allows us to have a feedback communication with your mentors, the mentees, to make sure that you are getting the best out of it. And last but not the least is the networking and the support that you get. Okay, so today, because we wanted this to be live and recorded, because some people won't be able to join at this point. That's the reason you are joining us via YouTube. But again, Andrew, I'm just going to call on you to share the invite link on the chat box. So if you have any question, you can put them on the chat. But if you want to come live and join me on the stage, you can click on whatever the link that Andrew is going to share with us using our YouTube handle. You can click on that and you'll be able to come on the backstage. We'll be able to add you to the page so that you speak to us rather than just chatting. Okay, so that is that. The last before I bring in our amazing beneficiaries and then have this conversation to understand how much the mentorship that I think by the time that Paula and Loa was on our mentorship program, we were collaborating with ASCO, which is the student union organization you have at Cambridge. So we ran that in partnership with them, and they were very successful with that. I think that was their master's, but now they've not just completed master's, but have gone ahead to start actually doing their PhD. And so before that, I just wanted to speak a little bit about the feedback system that we have. Is something that I've also been saying before. So ensure that continuous feedback mechanism between the mentors and the mentees, regular check-in, and once you check in, anything that you agree upon, if it's for the mentor to review a CV, we are asking the mentor, please make out time to review the CV, provide feedback, and then share back with the mentee. And the mentee, if what it is for you to go and action any feedback on your CV, your personal statement, whatever it is, any research you need to do, research certain supervisors, because the mentors are not going to be the one researching supervisors for you, but they can tell you, help you with the email that you have to send to them, how to approach them and all of that. So you want to make sure that you action those feedback before coming back. We'll have the mid-program evaluation where the mentors will be asked to evaluate how engaging the mentees has been. Sometimes we are able to get some money that we can use to support application for mentees. And so we can only support those that we are sure have put in the best and stand a better chance of actually making a strong application. And so during this mid-program evaluation, your mentors are able to vouch for you to say, okay, I think this person is an amazing candidate. He can make a very competitive application to Cambridge, but he or she might not be able to pay the 50 or the 75 pounds application fee. Then we ourselves can, if we have the funding, we don't have the funding now, but we are trying to see how much we can get to support that process. If it comes to that, we are able to get feedback from this mid-program evaluation and as well as the final evaluation report to then decide which of the mentee we can support in that financial aspect of things. So that is it so far. I'm going to then try to bring in two of our beneficiaries, Paula and Enyolua. I can't remember which year they were, but maybe they are able to tell you guys once they come in. Where's Enyolua? Okay, sorry. Okay, cool. So we have them. Paula, can you turn on your camera so that the folks we have here are able to see you?
Hello.
Okay,
Hi.
cool.
Good evening.
All right, so before I engage both of them on the conversation, Drew, let's see the presentation. I wanted to mention that when you think about mentorship, the pathways that we take, these pathways could be completely different. This means that what David might need from a mentorship might be different from what Paula is going to be needing. And so we could take different dimension. I might need support with my personal statement. That is where I think I really need support. I might need support to build some kind of network, maybe because of how my department is structured. I really need to get my foot in because of how my program is structured. I really need to get a supervisor. Okay, so my mentor could potentially help me with that network building, to get a supervisor, to get folks who have actually gone through my course. It could be that you are assigned to a mentor that actually did not study chemistry, but they did physics. Okay, so they might not, while they might be able to provide a general mentorship to you, they could point you to someone in their department, for instance, if you're applying to your school, who is actually studying chemistry. Or it could be that, okay, you are applying to Cambridge and you want to go for the Gates Cambridge scholarship, but your mentor didn't actually get Gates Cambridge. Maybe the person is on Cambridge Trust. The person is able to help you build a network of someone within the university who has the Cambridge, the Gates Cambridge, to interact with you and tell you how the process is like. So depending on who you are, the school that you are applying to, the mentor that you have, the skill set that you are looking for, you will usually have different pathways. For example, look at what we have for Inyolua there. The mentorship and the research guidance that she kind of received, the personal statement development support that she received, and interview preparation that she received. All of this supported her and then helped her to be successful with whatever it is that she was doing there. Therefore, Paula, the goal setting and the university selection that was put in place for her, the networking, building, and the academic relationship that our mentor helped her to build with folks in her department, the application submission, and then the follow-up after that. These are different things. You can see it just looks as if the respective mentors provided support in different areas, but both of them are successful PhD students at University of Cambridge today. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is to engage both of them. We have a couple of questions that we have for them to answer, but before then, I just wanted to, I don't know who want to start first. If you can just briefly tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe you can go for Ini. Ini, do you want to go first? Tell us a little bit about yourself and yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Inyolua Falabi, and I'm grateful to be here today. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Cambridge. I just finished my first year going to second year. And I think I get to know AODI maybe when I was trying to apply for my master's in chemistry at the University of Cambridge. Yeah. Is that
Amazing.
enough?
Yes, that's okay. Paula?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here as well. I am also a PhD student, candidate student in clinical biochemistry at the University of Cambridge, and I completed my undergrad in biochemistry from Covenant University in 2020. I came here from Lagos, Nigeria, so that's where I grew up. And I knew AODI as well through the African Society Cambridge University student body, through the mentorship program of the student body. And it was immensely helpful in me bagging this PhD admission in Cambridge. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think you guys already answered the first question I wanted to ask, how you learned about the AODI mentorship program. I also mentioned that when I was introducing things. So the next question I wanted to ask is if you can share how your mentor supported you through the application, the graduate application. I know yours was specifically to Cambridge. If you can share your experience, what was the summary of the support that you actually got from your mentor? What does it cover? Okay, maybe we'll start with Paula this time.
Okay, thank you, David. I applied to the PhD coming straight from a bachelor's degree. So I really didn't have much experience with like research and writing research proposals and all of that stuff. So when I came across the mentorship opportunity to be mentored by current students at Cambridge, I knew it was something I definitely wanted to go for. So before coming onto the program, they had like a general session. And during that session, they talked about, what a successful application entails, including writing a stellar CV, the statement of purpose and all of that. So that was a very good introduction for me to know what is required to submit an application for graduate school. And then I got matched with students at Cambridge who is studying clinical neurosciences. So it's kind of similar to what I had interest in. And in our first meeting, he asked me, what my goals were, why I wanted to come to Cambridge, what my research interest was, and all of that stuff. So that made me to have, just set that clear goal with him. And then I got on to writing my SOP. The moment I wrote it, I would send it to him. And within a couple of days, he would give me back some feedback. We had a couple of meetings together. He was always just responsive. He was always available to give me very helpful feedback. And whenever he made any comment on my statement, I could instantly see how it was much better than what I had previously written. And there were even some statements where I didn't really know where to start because the way they phrased it on the application portal, I didn't really know what to make of it. So I asked him, how do I ever start writing this? And he was really helpful. He gave me specific things that they would expect to see because, of course, having come to Cambridge already, he knows, what is required to make a successful application. So all of that was really helpful. And then when it came to the interview as well, we weren't able to set up a meeting at that time, but I sent him an email, told him what I was required to do for the interview, which was to make a presentation and present my previous work, anything I had done relating to research, and just talk about my interest in the PhD program. So when I told him that, he told me what to do. He was like, be very clear on your goals, be very clear on what it is you've done before and which professor you want to come and work with and why and all of that. So it was just incredibly helpful having this go-to person to always, ask questions, him being very responsive. Of course, there was the general mentorship team, the ASCO AODI leadership team, which also held general sessions for everyone who was a mentee on the program. And they always shared very helpful resources there. There was like a comprehensive folder for like anything CV, SOP, and all of that. So, I mean, it's really, I kind of emphasize how helpful it was for helping me coming to this PhD program here at Cambridge. So yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Thanks. Like, I think I can definitely see that passion and, the free flow is still there in your head. You can still remember vividly how the entire process went.
Yeah.
Right? Ini, I know that you have a slightly different pathway from what Paula has shared. So can you share with us?
Okay, I think mine is a bit different from Paula because I don't get to know about AODI when they are recruiting their mentees. So I got to know AODI when I sent an email to my supervisor, who is in the same department as David, that was trying to apply to. That's chemistry. So when I sent my SOP and my CV to him that I want to work with him, I think the only person you could go to get recommendation about me was David. So he had to forward my document to him and say, "Oh, this lady is applying. Do you think is someone that I should take into my group?" So I think I don't know all of this, but gratefully, David recommended me to my supervisor, and my supervisor was like, "Okay, let's have a meeting." We had that meeting, and after the meeting, it was like, "Oh, you see, there was a guy that I know in the department that is running this mentorship program that could help you on your admission journey. So I'll just connect both of you together, and he will be able to support you." And he told me that he's very busy and he knows that they've recruited all the mentees they need for this year, but he has promised that he will help you. I was really happy about it because I didn't even know such mentorships came exist in Cambridge. So that was how I got connected to my mentor, who is David. And to be honest, if not for David, I don't think I will apply to Cambridge because I just need someone to believe that I have what it takes to get into Cambridge. And that was what David really did. When he saw after recommending me, I think he believed so much in me. And at first meeting, he get to know me and said, "Oh, you really have what Cambridge is looking for. Let's just work together to make this happen." So what I really benefited much from him was his commitment to me. I mean, sometimes you have to hold meeting late at night, and it's when I got into Cambridge that I really understand how much sacrifice he made for me that time to always come on call, to stay long with me, to walk me through all the process, all my SOP, to give me feedback on how to improve my essays. And the feedback that I think was really important for me was learning how to pitch the impact of what I've done. And I can't remember how many times we have to go over and over it again and say, "Oh, this impact is not well written, is not clear enough. You have to bring it out." I think going through those multiple phases of feedback really helped me, and it's really gave me that valuable skills of pitching myself, knowing how to pitch myself better, especially in writing, so that people can believe in me and be convinced about what I intend to do. Yeah. So when that happened, when I was at some point, I will be sincere, I felt like quitting. But what really kept me going was his commitment. I just felt, "Oh, you are not paying for this opportunity. If you see someone committed to you as this, is it because you are just frustrated about the whole process that will make you quit?" So his commitment was really what made me really submit my application at the end of the day, because I don't want to let him down, because I felt he's invested so much into me, into my application process. Thankfully, I was able to go through the application process, and I got like interview. When I got interview invite, I went back to him, and he connected me with some folks in the department who prepared me for the interview. And also when I want to like have interview for the scholarship, I think I went back to him, and he gave me some of the tips, what I should look at, what I should focus on, which all helped me to get into Cambridge. And I'm really thankful for that opportunity. Yeah.
Amazing. I think it looks like you guys knew that we are not doing okay with time. And while you and Paula was speaking, you already answered the three other questions I wanted to ask you. Okay, you mentioned around which part of the mentorship and how that kind of supported your stuff, and the touch points you have with your mentors. I think to wrap it up, I would just want to ask both of you now, what advice would you give to these current mentees that we have now, as well as the mentors, to make the most out of this mentorship experience? Paula, you want to go first?
Yeah, so of course, coming into something like this is a huge opportunity to have people who are pretty much established in their field and have had vast experience along the paths you're coming to take now as mentees is a huge opportunity. So don't take it for granted. Come with a learning spirit. So you're coming here to gain from people who have walked in the path you're walking now currently. So come with an open mind, come with an attitude to learn. Whenever you're giving any kind of feedback, always internalize it. If you don't understand it, don't be afraid to ask your mentor for more clarification or more help. Or make sure that every meeting, every feedback that you get from your mentor, you take it seriously. You don't just take it for granted. So of course you're going to be greatly helped by whatever guidance you receive, and I believe that you will come out, grateful for it, just as we are today. And to the mentors, of course, also know that it's kind of a learning experience for you as well, because you're coming to work with this person who is, trying to also become something in life. And I think there's always something to learn from other people. So even though you're coming to teach the person or to teach your mentee, also have the mindset that, oh, there's something I can also possibly learn from this person. So that's pretty much my advice.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Paula. I think that is spot on. Ini?
Yeah, I think Paula said most of it. But what I'll just say to the mentees is to have resilient spirit. Like your mentor will drill you a lot. You can be at your best and they will be like, no, this is not good enough. So don't be discouraged. I think they want you to present your best, the very best, that you know that there is nothing else in you that you could have presented. So that is what they will be working you through to present during this application process. I promise you it will be very rigorous. But just think about their commitment and make a strong determination at the start that no matter what, you won't quit, and you will make sure you submit that application, because that's the decision I had to make, that no matter what, I have to submit this application. So if you have that determination that you want to submit it, I think you will be putting the effort together to make all the feedback, to make use of all the feedback you've been given to improve your application. And for the mentors, I think it's so much joy to see your mentee eventually get into one prestigious university, get a scholarship, and the success has your name on it. There is nothing as fulfilling as that. Is to be honest, is a fulfilling experience, and you will always be grateful for it. But I will also say be patient with your mentees, because most of them, they have the potential, they have what it takes, but they don't know how to put it together yet. So kindly support them on that journey and give it your best too. Let the mentors also give it their best. Don't withhold any information that will be useful to your mentees. Go all out to see that they are successful. And it will be an exciting experience for both of you. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate, this is really an eye-opener. I heard a whole lot of things that I didn't even know that was how the whole impact kind of went through during when you were having your own mentorship experience. Okay, so thank you so much for living your busy Cambridge life and trying to spend this time with us this evening. It's already recorded. It's recorded. We can always give you the link for you to look through. But I think you were amazing, really, trying to distill out what you've learned from your own experience. And I hope that this is going to be a whole lot of learning opportunity for our mentors and our mentees. And this would subsequently convert into the success stories that we are looking over. So I think at this point, I'm going to excuse myself and go off the stage. I'll hand you over to the capable hands of Andrew, who is then going to drive this for the rest of it. I think later on we have Chioma coming on board. But otherwise, it's been a pleasure actually, speaking to each and every one of you and having the opportunity to have this conversation with Paula and Ini as well. And I know I have a whole lot of you as mentee. I can't wait to actually start interacting with you guys and seeing how much we can support you. And I hope that all of our mentors to sign off at this point and hand over to Andrew. Andrew, over to you, please.
Yes, so thank you very much, David, Inuolua, and then Paula Peace for your presentations and delivery. First of all, I would like to apologize if you hear noises on my background, as I'm in an open space and I couldn't get a place to actually get a cool or quiet place to join this meeting. So I'm just hoping I'm able to rush through my slides quickly before the students come out. Thank you, David, for the beautiful presentation. So next on the list, so I'll be talking about best practices. Sorry, let me see where the presentation has gone to. Oh, it seems when David logged off, he took the presentation away. Let me try and find it and then get back to present. Sorry, everyone, I'm trying to upload the presentation so that I could start. So I'm now looking for it. Sorry, okay. Just give me like 2 minutes. Great, I think we now have the presentation now. Sorry, guys. Yes, can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can hear me. But as I said, as I mentioned, sorry for the background noise, as I'm currently in an open space. But I'll be talking about best practices in mentorship. So David mentioned a lot in his introductory, and then gave scenarios out to how best mentors and then the mentees could relate, and then make this mentorship program an effective one for the benefit of both the mentors and then the mentees in general. But both mentors and mentees play essential roles in ensuring that the relationship is productive and then impactful. But for an effective mentorship, this will thrive on mutual commitment, open communication, and clear objectives set between both the mentors and then the mentees. In setting clear objective for mentors, you would have to begin by discussing your goals, your expectation, and then the commitment of the entire supervision with your mentee. In doing this, you'd have to define the scope of your role and then the desired outcome of the entire mentorship duration with your mentee so that they don't over expect you to deliver on your part. So once you kind of lay out the background foundation in defining the goals, your role, and then the objective, and then everyone is in line with it, then if there's any additions, you could I think communicate with each other and then try to input or adjust so that we don't have people overestimating another and others are so underestimating everything. And then as part of in creating a supportive environment is to foster a safe space where both the mentee and then yourself will feel comfortable in sharing all challenges and then the aspirations. So the mentorship program should not be very strict that the mentees would feel intimidated or shy or will not even have the confidence to approach you as mentors. So it's important to create a safe atmosphere, be approachable, be empathic to your mentee, and then be patient because some of the mentees might be applying for schools outside their home countries for the first time. So they might have little experience in terms of what to do, what even a personal statement is, or even how to improve their CVs. So I think you would have to be patient in guiding them through. Then, as part of the mentorship program or the supervision, sorry for the noise, guys. You would have to provide constructive feedback that would enable the mentees to grow and then improve. So be honest with them if the kind of the draft or the feedback or the request they are making isn't really great, or let's say their personal statement or the CVs they drafted isn't really great or professional, please let them know that isn't good, and then you provide them with solutions or alternative on how to improve these as well. Encourage your mentees to also be independent so that they could think independently and then take the initiative of their own. So in doing that, try to be less directive. Try not to spoon feed them. So let them kind of come up with things by themselves. Let them be able to research things. Let them be able to kind of lead on this mentorship program so that they can learn from themselves, from their own experience. They can learn and then be able to improve and develop along the way. So ensure regular communication. I know most of the mentors don't have enough time, but as much as possible, try and respond to the mentees because sometimes I know how frustrating it is when you need something and then you are unable to get it. So try and then make yourself available through various communication channels, whether emails, whether WhatsApp, whether phone calls, so that at least the mentees could easily approach you in terms of any challenges or difficulties. In respect to the mentees, you have to take ownership of this developmental journey. Otherwise, you will not learn anything from this program. So take charge in all assignment or all comment or suggestions that your mentors give you. Try and then keep up to your tasks. Try and then be efficient and then committed. Also be open to feedback. Whenever your mentees kind of give you some constructive feedback, take it as an opportunity for you to learn from your mistake. That is the only way you can learn and then develop, by taking and accepting feedback and then finding ways to improve upon previous mistakes or things that did not even go well. And also be transparent in your communication. So if you are having challenges, if you are struggling with anything, try and communicate this to your mentors as early as possible so that they could find you or they could provide you with the best solution as much as possible, and they could also give you alternative if they have any. And try and then stay engaged and then committed to this. As I said, this journey, your productiveness or how valuable or how how extent or the extent of support or how beneficiary this mentorship program will be to you would depend on your commitment and then your engagement and then how much time and effort you dedicate into this. And then overall, try and show gratitude and then respect to all supervisors or mentors assigned to you because as you could see, most of them are very busy. Most of them are either PhD students or most of them are professional trying to juggle this extra curricular activity with their main work. So it's not easy combining all these. So the little time they give you, try and then respect it, try and then be appreciative, try and then make that count, make the moment or the time or the little opportunity they give you count so that you can benefit as much as possible. Setting goals and personalized learning. So setting clearer goals and develop a personalized learning pathway are critical to the success of this mentorship program. And then for mentees to be able to do this, as David mentioned, reflect on your academic background or your professional kind of goals, and then try to set goals or achievable targets for this mentorship for the duration of this mentorship program. So if you know you have some challenges in your academic background or you hope to attain a certain height, try and reflect on it and then try and refine this so that when you meet with your mentors, you can articulate them clearly. And then if there's any gaps or if there's any improvements that you need, they could help you for you to be able to achieve the desired result or outcome that you need. Be specific and realistic with your goals. Don't go and exaggerate. Don't come up with exaggeration. So you know that this mentorship program is for a certain duration of time because most scholarship end by the first week of December. So try and then set achievable goals. Be specific with your goals. Be clear, and then so that you would be able to work on it with your mentors to achieve every milestone or every milestone that you guys set in your journey. So tailor your strength and then your needs to this mentorship program, and then assess the skills that you hope to gain as well. So take this as not just as an opportunity for you to benefit from just the application, but try and develop certain skills from this mentorship program because trust me, there are vast number of skills and experiences that you could gain from this in as much as you think that you could develop from elsewhere. This mentorship program provide an avenue for you to develop diverse skills and then experience, and then also broaden your network, as David mentioned. For mentors, you collaborate with your mentees in defining their goals. Ensure that you set realistic targets in ensuring that goals set are specific, measurable, achievable, and then relevant to the time bound of this mentorship program. So discuss each goal in line with your mentees in a broader perspective, whether in their academic journey or their career pathway. So some mentees might be interested in maybe only jobs overseas, while some mentees might just be focused on educational opportunities. But I'll say that if you are focused on educational opportunities and let's say it doesn't go well this year, do not limit that conversation that conversation only to educational opportunities. You may not know your mentors could actually recommend you to other professional opportunities that they may know, which you might benefit from. So, for example, in 2021, I had a mentee who wanted to apply to Cambridge for an MPhil in AI and machine learning. Upon all the guidance, he wasn't successful with his application, but he kept in touch with me. Okay, and then down to 2022, he wrote to me that he lost his job in his current company and has been out of work for 4 months. So if I know any opportunities in terms of employment out there, I could recommend to him and so that he could apply. So at that time, too fortunate for him, there was vacancies in my company as a product manager, which I thought his skills could benefit from. So I sent him the job advertisement for him to consider whether he's excited about it and will be happy and willing to apply. And he said yes. So I set a time with him, went through his CV, went through how to draft a strong cover letter, and then there and then he was able to produce a good draft, and then he submitted application. Luckily he got invited for interview, and then we spent 3 hours on a mock interview with him. And then fortunate for him, he got offered the job, right with little skills or experience, but because I was able to guide him through, he was able to get the opportunity, and he's still currently in my company now as a product manager from 2022 when I sent the opportunities from him. So don't limit the conversation only to academic opportunities. Try and then broaden it as well. Your mentees might have knowledge in terms of other job opportunities that may be able to sponsor these visas in case that your academic applications don't really go well. So it should be both ways, but make sure you have clear goals and then outcomes so that you and then your supervisor could, sorry for using supervisor. I'm involved in other mentorship program, and then we are just used to the word supervisor. So you and then your mentor could kind of navigate around, and then you come out with a plan on how to support you with your professional and then your academic journey. So second upon the list in terms of progress, so both of you should monitor your progress, both the mentee and then the mentor. Communicate with each other, keep in touch, see how assignment or tasks are going. If people are unresponsive, try and then get in touch with them. And then to the mentee specifically, make sure that you come prepared. Don't come to your mentorship meetings or your supervisory meetings with the expectation that your mentors will spoon feed you. No. So the amount of what you would get will depend on your preparation. So if you come less prepared, you will just get little out of your meetings. But if you come more prepared, you would be able to get a lot. So I'd say before every meeting, before every supervision, try and then do your research, try and then come out with series of questions or challenges you are facing so that your mentors would be able to help you navigate through all the challenges or through all the difficulties you might have. And then try and then communicate confidentiality and trust in everything you do because there are personal information involved, and then some people might be private. But try and then recognize that both personal and then professional lives may bring unexpected changes. So be flexible in adapting to scheduling and then shift in focus, and then maintain a growth mindset so that you'll be able to adjust your goals and strategies as the mentorship program evolves. So next on the list, I would invite our very own Dr. Chioma Achi, who is an assistant professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, to share her experience. Is she on here now? Okay, great. So Chioma is here. So Chioma is an assistant professor at the London School of Hygiene and then Tropical Medicine. And then she will be here to share her journey or her experience in transitioning, or her journey from studying within Cambridge, then to transitioning into becoming an academic at the London School of Hygiene and then Tropical Medicine. Chioma, over to you.
Yeah, hi. Can everyone hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Hello, everyone, and good evening. It's good to be here on the other side. We've already heard about AODI, and I'll try. I know we're not doing so well with time, so I'll just try and wrap up in good time. So I'll do a little bit of me and my academic journey, where I've been, career pathway, and tell us how I've gotten here, basically. So first, I have a first degree in veterinary medicine. I qualified as a vet mid 2000s, and following that, I went on to following my youth service in Kano, Nigeria. I went on to lecture as in the Department of Veterinary Public Health in Usman Danfodio University. Sorry, I think I'm not getting my audio is a bit muffled. If you don't mind me using my headset so that you can hear me properly. Okay, is this better? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly,
Oh,
Chioma.
great.
Yeah.
Oh, great. All right, thank you. So, and then just like everyone else here, we're talking about making applications to high ranking universities and making use of the opportunities we have here. I got in touch with someone during my youth service who introduced me to a British Council scholarship at the time because we all served in Kano. Asked me, the person was a colleague, not really a mentor or mentee, mentor at that point, asked me if I could apply for the scholarship. It was a competition at that time, and I did. So that helped me to get into the University of Westminster, where I had my master's in applied microbiology and biotechnology. So following my master's, came back to Nigeria because I knew I wanted to give back to my home country. I wanted to invest in the system, and I also wanted to transfer the knowledge and skills I'd gained. I spent the next couple of years in Nigeria working also as a lecturer at the time, but then I knew I wanted to complete my PhD somewhere outside the country. So I started applying again. I made a few applications. I really wanted to go to Cambridge at the time. I didn't quite know a lot of people who had gone to Cambridge at that point. So, but I went online, I went to the website, I saw someone who was there at the time, and I reached out to ask her a few questions, which she answered, but I didn't have this opportunity. I'm sure if I had this opportunity of a mentorship program, I would have gotten in at my first attempt, maybe. So for me, my journey wasn't quite as straightforward as most people because I got into Cambridge on my third application. So the first I applied, I had the interview. I didn't get the funding. Second, I didn't get funding. Although I got admitted into the faculty, but I didn't get funding. So they usually say third time lucky. The third time I tried and I got in. Being in Cambridge exposed me to quite a lot, and as you would have heard from the mentees who have just gotten in, I got in at the same time as David. So we both started off in the same year, and we did quite a lot of things together. But then being in Cambridge, like I said, offered me a unique opportunity. It offers you the platform to meet people from all walks of life, offers you the platform to, you keep hearing about people who have made the mark, made the name in their various fields, and you would actually not know how that feels until you get to meet them and interact with them. It also offers the opportunity to identify your unique skills, my unique skills, and to run with them. So basically, as those who have been to Cambridge, a few of us would know, and sorry, I'm talking about Cambridge because that's where I've been. It could just be any university. I tried to make the most of the time there. I knew what I wanted to do after my PhD, and I started working towards it from there. Um, So there are opportunities for small group teaching. I've always been in the academic pathway, and I wanted to continue. Although I was given room, I had an open mind to do things around international governmental organizations and the rest. So there was the opportunity for small group teaching and supervision, which I took on. There was also the opportunity for mentoring, which I also took on, and then volunteering as well. So for those of you who are making your applications, that's something you can take forward. You want to be able to show how your personal statement stands out from others, and all of those little opportunities that you get to do something unique, something different, is something you can tell as part of your story in applying. Cambridge, as we all know, while I was in Cambridge, as most of us know, would question your skills and experiences. It will get to the point where you start asking yourself if you really fit your what being there. Imposter syndrome will set in. It doesn't just happen to people at our own level, it happens to everyone. So if you're experiencing imposter syndrome, it's not something new. So I also felt imposter syndrome at that point. I asked myself if I really deserve to be there. But then you always remind yourself that you're deserving of every opportunity that you get. So it's not just sheer luck, but because you worked so hard to be there. So I try to remind myself of that, and I try to work very hard. Besides academics, I was very involved in college life. I was so you have the departments and you also have college. So besides that, I was very much involved in college life, and did a lot of non-extracurricular activities really while still maintaining my academic position. So basically, immediately after completing my PhD, I started applying, and unlike the postgraduate, the PhD application, I applied for a postdoctoral position at the University of Oxford. I was invited for an interview, and I got through. I became a postdoc at the University of Oxford. And in 1 year, after a year or so, I got an upgrade, and I became the scientific lead for Nigeria on our project. Like I said earlier, I knew where I wanted to go, and then I later on applied to be to the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, where I got an offer as an assistant professor, which is where I am. So I'm basically combining being an assistant professor at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, and also being the scientific lead for Nigeria on the INEOS Oxford Institute project. And that's happening at the University of Oxford. So there are a lot of things that will try your faith. It's not always a smooth journey. For me, I had to learn skills during my PhD that I never thought I was going to learn. It was a new area. I didn't just take a research topic that I was comfortable with. I wanted to come out of the PhD refined and learning new things, not just something within my comfort zone. So I had to relearn. I had to learn a lot of things. I had to learn bioinformatics from afresh. There were times when I would come out of my PhD supervisory visit feeling like a dummy because I'd taken up an area that was really new. But all in all, I went through the process, and I would say it's really been rewarding and fulfilling and a wonderful experience. And we keep growing. We keep growing. I'd tried as much as possible to make the most of the relationships I built while during my PhD. For instance, a good example is my external examiner. We've been in very good contact since after completing my PhD, and she's been recommending me for opportunities. She's been putting me on grants if there are any early career opportunities, mid-career opportunities that she thinks I'm going to fit. Say, Choma, we need to put this grant together. We need to do this. So make the most of the relationships you have and you build. I like what Andrew said about the mentee not getting into the university of their choice at first, but reaching out to ask if there were other opportunities for them for employment, and they also got those employment opportunities. So you never can tell where your relationship will take you to, your network will take you to, but always make the most of it as much as you can. So because of time, I'm just going to stop, and I think we'll take questions from there.
Yeah, wow, that's quite enlightening presentation there from Chioma. That's educative and encouraging. I didn't know you kind of had several trials before you became successful. That means I wasn't alone. Yeah. So
Yeah. And
we
it's
can.
easy to get discouraged, right, when that happens. And what I've always seen, what I've always, my motto is failure or no is always an opportunity for you to try again, for you to do better. Because I remember going into the interview, and I didn't start, my interview was different from others. It was the same people who had interviewed me the previous year, and they only said, since interviewing you, can you tell us how much you have grown and what you've done differently in the past year and what skills you have learned? And that was it. And it's, so even when they say no, you get to know there is failure, use the opportunity to develop yourself and to build on that and to grow.
Great. Thank you very much. That's a lot of information to pack. We are now in the question and answer session. So anyone has a question, please click on the link, and then we are happy to bring you on board for you to ask your question. But Precious, do you have anything to let our audience? Do you have anything to say to our audience? If you have a few things from yourself as well.
All right, thank you very much, Andrews. This program has really been very, very educative for me as well, even though I'm not a mentee, but I've been able to learn a lot from all of our trustees, our speakers, and our past mentees as well. So what I would just like to add is, and this is just for our mentees, trust me, this process is going to be very rigorous and you need to be ready to put in the work, because as AODI, we don't spoon feed you. We actually guide you on how to fish. And at the end of the day, you have to put in the work because no one is going to work that work for you. So come in with an open mind, and even when it gets tough, do not quit, because only quitters are losers. So like Andrew said, at this point, if you want to ask a question, if you're not shy, you can just click on the link so we can bring you on board, or you can drop a question in the comment section so that we can wrap up this meeting at most 9 p.m. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Precious. So as I was saying, trying to prepare yourself as much as possible and then make use of this opportunity given you during this mentorship program. Develop as much skills and experience as much as possible. It's not just you making application and then going to sleep. There are a lot of other things you could develop as part of this mentorship program, especially how to be effective, how to multitask, because I know most of you may be juggling either work or school together with this mentorship program, or may even be doing other thing, how to meet deadlines. These are all essential skills that you will develop during this mentorship program, and you can benefit as much as the effort you put in. So try and then avail yourself, try and then ensure that you are dedicated and then engaged in this mentorship program. That's the only way you could benefit. And then also try and then come prepared. So let me give you an instance. Back in Ghana, I used to tutor Sunday school students to go for quizzes, Bible quizzes for our church, to represent our church in Bible quizzes. And then there was a group I managed. The last group I managed before I moved to Cambridge was in 2018, 2019, thereabout. It included 3 ladies and then 1 guy. And then I think they were the best group I have tutored for the national our Bible quiz, because with that group, we were able to win the district quiz, we were able to win the regional quiz, and then we went to the finals for the first time, and then we placed third. So they did very well, and then I had ambition to support them with their graduate studies once they finished graduate school. So then they were in, I'll say they were about finishing primary school and then about to go to secondary school. So one of them finished university last year, and then he messaged me, Andrew, I want to study abroad. And I'm like, what course do you want to study? What university do you want to apply to? And then lo and behold, this guy knew nothing. He was expecting me to spoon feed him the same way I spoon fed him when I was preparing them for the Bible quiz. And I said, you are now grown. There you were in primary school. You were in JHS, in what we refer to as junior high school back in Ghana. But now you are a graduate now, so there's no way I'm going to spoon feed you. If you don't come up with what you want to do, it means you are not ready to do a master's. So I asked him a few questions, whether he has an idea about what he wants to do, especially what's what document or materials he needs to prepare for graduate application, and he had zero ideas. So I had to send him drafts of CVs, cover letters, had to tell him what a personal statement was, because he had zero idea about what a personal statement was about. There I knew he wasn't ready, but I had patience, as I had earlier mentioned, and I knew that for some people, as I said to the mentors earlier, for some people, this might be the first time they are applying for admission, because even with the university admission, someone made the application for them. So they have zero idea or knowledge. So let's try to be patient. So with this guy in June, I was very patient. I sent him all the materials, and then I spent time to type everything he needed to understand about graduate application. And then I sent him links to various courses that I think he could benefit from in the master's course to pursue in relation to what he studied during his undergrad. And then I also sent him links to various scholarships that were open at that time so that he could read and then get back to questions. I sent him that in the first week of June. We are in the middle of September. He's not still gotten back yet with any single question to ask me. So that tells me that this guy is not ready for graduate studies. So if you are such a person who expects to be spoon-fed for this mentorship program, then we are sorry to tell you that this mentorship program isn't for you. This mentorship program is for those who are willing, dedicated, and are ready to be able to take on the next step of their academic and professional journey. So I'll say that before you meet your mentors or mentees, before you schedule any meetings with your mentors, try and then do your research. Try and then come prepared with questions. Come with any question at all. It may sound stupid. It may sound unexciting. It may sound it may sound unprofessional, but you are there to learn, and then make sure you grow. So if you ask a stupid question, sorry to say, for the first time, make sure in your subsequent meetings you don't come again with that same question. Otherwise, it just tells the mentee that you are not learning, you are not growing, and then they are just wasting time on you. So your first meeting might be awkward for some of you, but I would say grab the opportunity to learn. Okay. It's a learning curve for everyone. Everyone is different. Some of you might have had prior knowledge or prior experience in applying for application. For some of you, this may be the first time. So come prepared. Come with questions in your first meeting. Make sure you are tracking your progress, as I earlier presented. So track your progress. As I said, if you came to your first meeting unprepared or semi-prepared or confused, and then not knowing what to do, make sure that after your first meeting, you've gathered your lessons, you've learned a lot, you go back, you research, and then you come back to your next meeting with good set of questions, and then with some first draft, okay, that you share with your supervisor for them, or your mentor, for them to give you feedback. Do you get it? So you get as much as the amount you invest in. So if you come with just a rough draft, you would get rough feedback and then rough responses. To many of you in this modern age technology, you rely on ChatGTP a lot. I ask someone to draft something, he just go to ChatGTP, type the prompt, and then bring me back what ChatGTP says. If you do that, to me, it means you are not a serious candidate. So for me, ChatGTP is good, technology is good, but for you to be able to effectively learn from it, I would say prepare your own draft, okay, first. Then, if you would want to see whether what you've prepared is good or not, then you can key in your prompt on ChatGTP and then see the template it gives you, compare it with yours, and then you refine it along the way. But don't go first to ChatGTP. Otherwise, you would be biased in terms of your output. So first, try and work without technology. Do your normal research as if ChatGTP wasn't around. Then after that, if you would want to refine your draft, you could go and then compare what you've drafted with the template that has produced for you. Then you could refine your draft before moving on to your meeting with your supervisor, and then they can advise. Don't think that ChatGTP will be 100% correct all the time. It's feedback, the data that it has been trained with. Do you get it? And then make sure that with this personal statement, it has to be personal. That is why we refer to it as a personal statement. So it has to be personal to you. So not just a general statement, or don't just go and grab something from the internet and then share with your supervisor as something you have drafted. That wouldn't get you far, or that wouldn't even get you admission, rather than even considering of a scholarship. Do you get it? So don't rely on technology too much. Try and then be proactive. Try and then be self-centered. Try and then draft your own thing based on your own experience or based on your own motivation. Then you can refine it using technology. So don't rely solely on technology at this stage, I would say. Yes. Any questions so far? No questions. Is David on? David, do you want to give your final submission before we call it a day, since there's no questions coming in at the moment?
Okay, I'm actually multitasking. I mean, I'm just in multiple meetings at the same time. So yeah, I think it's been an amazing time interacting with each and every one of you. You already have the link with which you joined this meeting. It's a live link. This meeting is recorded, but it's not published. So you need the link to be able to see whatever it is that has happened this evening. After this, we'll be able to share the documents that was used for the presentation. So you have two options in terms of how you refer back to the conversation we've had today. You can click on this link, come back to it and rewatch this if you want, or you can just focus on the PDF document that will be shared with you to try to grab what it is that we've been saying about the mentorship program. So yeah, I think I don't have much. We've said everything. We are already maybe even up to 30 minutes above time, so can let you go really. But again, I can't reiterate enough two things. We have mentors that have made commitment to be here with you for you. So as a mentee, you need to be available. You need to grab this opportunity with your two hands and make sure that you set those clear goals. You have a target, what you want to get out of this mentorship. Align on that with your mentor and get the best and build a very good relationship. Andrew shared with you how, despite the fact that the person that he mentored some time ago couldn't get into school, but they maintained that relationship and he was able to support him even outside the mentorship program. So that is something you really want to grab into, because a lot of folks who are going to be providing this mentorship are folks that has built a whole lot of amazing career for themselves. They can support you in one way or the other outside the mentorship framework through advice, signposting you to other opportunities that you can potentially benefit from. So the ball is now in your court. You decide where you want to kick it. You want to score a goal. You want to play it over the post, over the net, whatever, pass to the next person. All left for you, right? But we are here to support you. If there is anything, if you're a mentor, you have any issue with your mentee, please run back to us, report to us. We are here to moderate and coordinate the entire program. If you're a mentee and you're struggling with your mentor, please don't keep quiet, report back to us. We'll be able to find a way to address whatever it is that is happening in between. We want you to get the best experience. We want your success story. We want next year for us to bring you back and then give the next mentees and mentors that are going to be on board, share your experience and your success story, right? That is what we want. We continue to update you. We already have you on WhatsApp. Feel free to shout out, ask any question, and you always get the answer. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop there and over to you, Andrew, for us.
Thank you very much, David, for your final remarks. Chioma, do you have any final remarks for us before we call it a day?
Yeah, I just to say, just keep trying, never give up, like everyone has said. The first attempt might not be successful, but don't give up. As long as you stay focused and you know what you want to do, just keep pushing at it and you eventually get there. So I said in the stay chat that I'm looking forward to reading the testimonials from most of the mentees in the near future. So good luck with everything and good night as well.
Great. Thank you very much, Chioma. Precious, do you have any next steps for the both the mentees and then the mentors?
All right. Thank you very much, Andrews. Before you log off, I would love for everyone in the comment section to kindly click on the subscribe button and subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is very important, so that you can stay abreast of every other thing that happens in AODI, especially for live events like this. And also during the meeting, I think I got some messages from some people saying that they were matched with mentees, whereas they are mentors. This means that you did not actually read the application forms carefully when you first signed in, because there are two forms that were released. One was for the mentees, the other one was called for mentors. So you filled in the mentors form, which is why you reflected in the back end as a mentor. That's why we're matched with mentees. So I really don't know how we're going to rectify that right now, because the matching is over at the moment. So I don't know how we can do that. Maybe we can see what we can do about it, but for now the matching is over. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Yes. So if you were a mentee but you were matched with other mentees as well, we will try and then help sort this out. Try and then message us as soon as possible, and then we can see how we can dissolve your group and then distribute all the members there to appropriate mentors. So try and then message us. You could place your comment on the group. Place a comment on the group or message either one of us, and then we will try and then sort this out as early as possible. Thank you very much for joining to today's meeting or kickoff program for the 2024. Okay, for the 2024 mentorship program. Thank you, and then see you during the various events. Bye-bye.
Bye.